Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be sharing an easy pumpkin pie recipe. This video is also a collab with some other ladies and moms here on YouTube who are doing pumpkin themed videos. So some of them will be doing recipes, some will be doing decor, and maybe other stuff too, but all the videos are pumpkin themed. So make sure you check down below in my description. I'll have a playlist down there with all of these videos, so make sure you check that out. So it is currently 9:30 on a Saturday morning. We haven't even cleaned up the kitchen. I still have all of our breakfast stuff out, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my crust ready. This recipe is so much easier if you have crust ready to go, and sometimes I will have crust in my freezer, but unfortunately I am out, so I have to make crust today. But when I make the dough for the crust, it is enough to last me 3 different times making pies, so it'll make 6 pies. So I gotta quickly make that crust right now, get that dough all ready, and then later on today I will add the pumpkin to the pie crust. So to make the dough for the crust, I'm going to need 5 cups of flour, and then I add some brown sugar, some salt, some baking powder. Once all those dry ingredients are together, then I'm going to add my pound of lard, and then I use my pastry, is it called a pastry cutter, I think, to get this all mixed, everything incorporated. Yes, it's a little bit messy, and just get it all nice and mixed. Then I'm going to add, I have a little helper here, as you can see. She came along to help me out. She always wants to help in the kitchen. So to this previously mixed batter, I am just adding some eggs, water, and vinegar. I'm gonna get that all mixed together. Then I put it into one big ball, and then I divide it into 4 smaller balls. So different to what I told you earlier on. I said it makes 3 different packages of pie crust. It actually makes 4. So I'm going to wrap up these 4 packages. 3 I'm going to stick in the freezer for a later time, and then I'm going to put the 4th one into the fridge because I'm going to use that shortly. Alright, this has been in the fridge for about an hour, so I am ready to roll this out, and this is going to make 2 pie crusts. So I'm going to roll this out and put it in my pie pans. I bake that for a little bit, and then we'll get started on the filling. Always flour your countertop before you start rolling out your dough. I am no pie making expert at all, so my pie crusts don't turn out the most amazing, but I do try to make it nice and round. I get it all rolled out and try to make it as nice of a round shape as you can. As I said, I'm not the best at this. And then once I have done this crust, I'll do the second crust, and then I'll stick those both in the oven. I also use my fork to prick some holes in it first. I couldn't remember if I normally pre-bake the crust or not. After I baked it, you'll see it in a minute, it really starts to shrink, and so I think that I usually don't pre-bake the crust. It just works out better because the crust kind of goes down on the sides, and then the filling is going to go above the crust. Like I said, you'll see it in a minute. But next time I make this, I will make sure to not pre-bake the crust because I think that works better. While that crust is pre-baking, I'm going to start making my filling. So I use some pumpkin puree, some evaporated milk, 2 eggs, some brown sugar, and then some spices. So if I remember correctly, what I'm adding here is cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, salt, and some flour. Then I'm going to use a fork to get this whisked all together. You could definitely do this with a mixer as well, but I'm just going to do it by hand and get it all mixed really well, and then I'm going to start pouring it into my crust. So as you can see here, the sides of the crust have really shrunk, and so my filling is going to go above the top of the crust. So it might not look quite as pretty, but it'll still taste delicious. So I'm just going to evenly pour this filling between the 2 pies. And here is the finished product, delicious pumpkin pies for the fall. So that is it. Thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you like pumpkin pie. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. I would eat it, I will eat it, but it's probably close to the last pie I would choose, if not the last, if there's a table full of pies. But my husband loves pumpkin pie. It's his favorite, and so I do make it, I was gonna say fairly often, not fairly often, at least once every fall I will make pumpkin pie. So if you tried out this recipe, please let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.